when you moved on, all of a sudden they were like, it could have been us. But it could have been us. But they never said that before. They never acted like that before. It's like now that they can't have you, they can't have it, they can't have that connection with you and all the magic and beauty and wonderment that you bring to them. Now they're like, it could have been me. It could have been us. It could have been you. And you're getting ready to step into something new all entirely. That's why you're moving on. You have either metaphorically or literally packed everything up and said, I'm going somewhere that is more my style. That's more for me. That is more me. And now all of a sudden, even if they're not saying it to you, they're like, but it could have been us. You're like, in what world? On what planet? In what timeline? In what dimension are you talking about? And the thing is, they might have even been over there setting plans, planting seeds, trying to make it so that you would come back around, and somehow at that point they would be ready, and somehow at that point they would be able to match what it was that you always brought, and that they couldn't reciprocate, and that they wouldn't exhaust you and deplete you, and that they would be like whoever you needed them to be. And I'm not just talking about romantic partnerships. I'm talking about anybody who just could not give what you needed them to give, even when you gave them everything and more. People who you set yourself on fire to keep them warm. You would have done anything to keep them fed and happy and successful and supported. And when you were the one who was cold, they couldn't even light a match, you know? And so they were laying these plans like, well, maybe if right? And I don't want to get too far into their stuff. Because, this is a story old as time. It's a narrative that plays out across humankind. And we can go and watch these in so many different places. And by the way, if you want some of those recommendations, I do send one story every week to my paid subscribers about things just like this that help us to see, oh my gosh, that's me. That's what's happening here. Very specific, stories from history, legend, pop culture, old pop culture, nostalgia. Anyway, so if you want that, link in my bio. But I don't want to get too far into their thing. But I will say that they had a bunch of things prepared. It's like if they were preparing dinner for you. That's the metaphor that's coming to mind. Like they were preparing dinner for you, but you didn't know that you were invited to dinner because they thought they were going to surprise you with dinner, even though there's no reason for you to think that you would be going to their place for dinner because you have gone your separate ways. You've distanced from each other. You have, whatever it is, right? And you're the one saying, okay, well, I see that this is not working out. I see this is not it. I'm going to go ahead and move all the way on. And they're preparing you dinner as a surprise. And then you're like, okay, well, I moved across the world, so I can't come to dinner. And now they're there with like all the food, right? It's like they were making plans, setting a table, trying to invite you back. And you're just like, I don't even belong at that table anymore. I'm making my own table. I'm making my own table that nourishes me, that makes sure that I'm warm and happy and that I get the good stuff. And it's too late. Like you're going to have to eat all that food yourself or find someone else who will eat it with you because it's too late. And when you moved on, there are certain people who just really thought that they were going to be able to pick up with you again at some point in the future, and that you were going to be able to plant new seeds, and that it didn't matter what they had or hadn't done in the past, because you're a forgiving person, because you're a kind person, because you're a gracious person. And they had it wrong, because even though you're all those things, that doesn't mean you're going to stick around for more disrespect or give them, I was going to say the benefit of the doubt, but even just give them a chance to do it the same again, because there hasn't been growth, there hasn't been change. It's just them wishing that they were. And so maybe someday they will, but that doesn't mean that you have to then try again with them either. You know what I mean? I see you and I appreciate you.